chat it with you guys. And to be honest, I was one of the people who got real lax during this pandemic, and it hit really close to home. And it was super duper scary, as you can imagine. A friend of mine had 2 people pass away in his family. We had some positives in my family, and I just got way too lax. When everything first happened, I remember that I was freaking out. I freaked out so much so that I did not work or take any new clients the month of April. And I dusted myself off. And in May, I went out and I got a whole bunch of clients. I got really busy. And I'm very blessed to be able to say that I was able to work, because there's not a lot of people, and especially not a lot of realtors, who had as much business as I did. And I was out there. I was out there every single day. I was working early, working late. And September was crazy, emotionally crazy, just very crazy. I'm an empath, so a lot of my clients' stress and drama surrounding them does absorb into my soul and my life very easily, which is a good and a bad thing, I guess. But September was really rough. And then, of course, reality set in that I was doing way too much. And here I am, almost, I guess it's October 26th or 27th, and I am not taking any new clients for the rest of the year. That's crazy to say out loud, but back in August, I had a person who was selling their home and buying another home, and the buyer's agent for that house gave their buyer COVID, and that buyer was buying my client's home. And the only reason we found out is because the buyer filled out the questionnaire honestly when it said, have you been exposed to COVID? Because the buyer's agent was not going to say anything at all. And I just didn't want to be one of those people. I didn't want to be one of those people who is out here meeting a lot of people and get my clients sick. That doesn't help anybody. So to err on the side of caution, I'm just not taking any new clients until the new year. So what am I doing the last 2 months of the year? Finishing my book, which, you know, obviously got put on the side burner, you know, of course, like all big projects do whenever you're busy. Hopefully I'll be able to get my magazine out. I did a completely customized magazine that I plan on publishing twice a year, and I'm praying that I can get it out. If not, I guess I have to find another option. The person that is designing and doing my magazine had a lot of COVID tragedies in his family, so I'm not going to stress him out. I'm not going to call him and say, hey, are you working on my magazine, when I know what's going on in his family. That's not right. I've been in that before, where I have had death in my family and people knew it and kept calling me anyway, and I know how it felt, so I'm not going to do that to him, like, period. So spending a lot of time with my family. I broke down 2 of my 5 garden beds and 3 of my 10 containers of my container garden, and that's a lot of work. Like, that counted as my workout yesterday. So breaking down my garden and getting it ready for the new homeowners when they purchase our house. We painted our house blue, which is so cool because our house was white, but we did all the exterior repairs to our home. Like I said, we painted it, and when we move out and move into our new home, we are going to do all the interior repairs. We're trying to decide if we want to pull up the wood floors and the carpet and put down a wood floor plank or a wood vinyl look plank. They call it LVP. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or not, or refinish the floors and just replace the carpet. The cost benefit is about the same because we need to refinish our hardwood floors and restain them. So it sort of kind of balances out. So that boils down to prepping for our move. I've been baking a lot, working out, self-care, organizing, purging, and of course checking up on my clients that I have under contract, checking up on all their homes. So I'm a tad bit behind. I have a nice, oh, my car has more power than I remember. I haven't really, I don't feel like I've driven a lot lately, which is crazy. So I have 10 houses under contract, and all of these are closing by the end of the year, so I have to keep an eye on them. I have a couple of clients who are buying existing properties, but these are my new construction people. One of my clients that I spoke with, golly, back May, June, they got approved, they found a lot. I just need to go look at the lot, lay my eyes on it, and make sure that I point out the pros and cons of the lots that they selected before they go under contract. I'm still not able to go to any closings. I haven't been to a closing since April, mid-April. So that's the new norm. And I need to drop off some closing gifts. So I have a lot of stuff to do. 10 properties under contract, well, 12 under contract, not including the 5 or 6 that are rolling into 2021. But there just comes a time where I, not you, I don't know what you're doing, but there comes a time when I had to stop being stupid and stop risking it. And me being out there working as much as I was working, each time was just another opportunity for me to be exposed to this mess. And it's very, very real. Like, I've known there's so many people who have passed away from this. I remember a couple months ago, I thought I gave Reggie, my husband, I thought I gave him COVID. So what happened is we're very affectionate. I went in for a hug and he felt really warm. He had a fever. And we rushed around. I asked Facebook and got a bunch of phone calls like, are you okay? But we asked around and we had to find a testing spot like ASAP. And even though we have a pretty good size 2-story home, we have toddlers. And during that period of uncertainty, I cried a lot because I was like, my husband has been home since February, doing what he's supposed to be doing. The only person in and out of the house is me. And I gave my husband COVID. Like, that's all I could think about. I remember when he left to go get tested, I sort of crumbled to the floor because he's my best friend, and it totally freaked me out. Same thing happened this time around. It's just too much. It's not worth it. We've canceled our holiday plans. My sister and I, we split the holidays up. I usually have Thanksgiving at my house, and my husband's parents come over, and then we do Christmas Eve at my sister's house. And I had to tell her that I'm not doing anything. Like, we're having our little mini, if that, it's not really a feast or like a Thanksgiving dinner in the traditional way that we do it, because I don't want anything to happen to my family. It's hard. Like, even it's hard. So I've received a lot of phone calls of people that want to work with me, and I think that is like so dope that people do want to work with me. And again, I'm so freaking thankful to even have that many people that reach out to me, but I'm just not taking any clients until the beginning of the year. Obviously this will not be gone. I mean, like, duh. I mean, I know it won't be gone, but I just feel like we'll have a little bit more, I don't know, I guess I'll just have a little bit more clarification. I remember when this hit, I would go out and work. Of course, I was masked up, and come home and I would take my clothes off at the door pretty much and wash them. I wouldn't talk to the kids, wouldn't touch them, nothing. And comparing that to how I was working right up until recently, I would just come home and wash my hands, and and it's just like, gosh, how stupid was I for doing that? I know that there's some people that will think that I'm overreacting, but I know a realtor who lost 7 family members. I have a friend who lost 2. We have had a lot of positives in my family. There's always a story of someone I know who knows somebody, and it's just going to be, I just don't feel right. Just out here, boils down to, I don't feel right. It's just hard. It's a really hard predicament to be in, but I am going to check up on some houses today. I have 2 here in Stoneybrook Station. One of my clients, I have not met them. They are subscribers. They're from out of town. And I remember they wanted to get a picture of the back of their home. They've seen the inside pictures and videos, but the back of the home is the part that I rarely get a picture of. So I need to specifically send them a picture of the back of their home, as well as do a walkthrough and send that to them. One of my clients' houses is in framing down in the Still Creek area, so I need to check that out and get ready to order her pre-drywall inspection. Another one of my clients' houses is in the finishes mode, but because of COVID, it really messed up the construction timing. Like, before I could say, oh, this will be ready in 60 days or 30 days, or we're like 30 days out from closing or whatever. Right now, I can't really call it. I've seen completed homes sitting there because they don't have the HVAC unit delivered yet, which is crazy. So they can't get a certificate of occupants, which we call a CO. We can't get that until the HVAC is in. So it's definitely holding some things up. Our personal home, we had a delayed lumber drop. Our HVAC is not in. All of our duct work is in, so at least they can start all the framing, not the framing. They can start the insulation because we've had our pre-drywall appointment. So there's delays. Windows, there's a delay on windows, 12 to 18 weeks. The price of lumber has almost doubled in some builds. So people are always asking, like, well, the price of houses go down. The market always fluctuates when it comes to demand, but the cost of the materials is going up, and the demand for the materials, there's also a delay on appliances. So people who are moving into brand new construction and the builder does not include the washer, dryer, or the refrigerator, they're having to order those pretty much at the pre-drywall appointment. Our couches that we ordered from Crate and Barrel may or may not be here before we close. I know that one of them will be available late December, early January. Hopefully we will have our keys by then. And then the other one, the one for our sunroom, will not be available until the end of January, February. So the first 6 months of living in our home, we'll have like splotches of stuff. We were going to sell our current home and leave our refrigerator there and buy a new one, but we don't want to market our home with includes the refrigerator, and the refrigerator has to stay, and we're stuck with like a college style refrigerator. So lots of moving parts. I'm definitely involved with the build, but in all honesty, I haven't checked on them as much as I want to. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Check on my 2 clients' houses, go over to Dillon Lakes, which is a Ryan Homes community. I've been working with Ramsey's Glen already. I'm going to go check on my Brentwood build. We extended the back patio, like basically double the size of it. I want to check to see how that looks, as well as see what the grading looks like, because we've been eyeing the grading and it's like, is that gonna look good? The past few times that I've checked on it, it's been wet, and last Thursday or Friday when I was out there like 20 feet away from my client, I I noticed that it was damp, and then I looked back at my planner and I said, it hasn't rained in like a long time, so why is it still damp? So it's a lot of runoff. So definitely going to check on that. But let me knock this house out real quick, these two, and I'll check in with you guys. Amazon, if you want some like really cool masks that are like super thick and they have like a little metal piece, I got I think 30 of these, maybe $18 or $19. It took forever to get here, but I do keep a packet of 5 of these in my car. I did make a whole crap load of, you know, homemade masks. Those are cute and all and they work, but I just feel a little bit more comfortable in this situation. I just do. I probably sound like a germaphobe right now, but I'm just fearful of my family. But anyway, I just finished up Stoneybrook Station, and I'm going to head up to Brentwood to check on my clients who are relocating here from Ohio. I'm checking up on their build, and then I'm going to swing through Larkhaven. I have 3 going on there. All of my Muirfield houses closed, guys, so I think I finished out that neighborhood selling 7 or 8 of the 40 lots that they have. So that's pretty dope. And then I'm going to try to make it to my South Charlotte house. but there's not really much to check. I love straps. Not every builder uses them as much as Meritage uses them, but I love a good strap. I won't have a chance to check on my house down in Amberley, so I will definitely do that tomorrow. But I wanted you guys to see what this is. Here's a normal crack. Completely normal. I always check out the backyard, let them see how that will look. There's a large retaining wall, so when my client was picking out this lot and that lot, we were definitely checking out how that's going to affect them. I also like to know how the water is going to drain off if they're like in a lower part. And that water has a very clear pathway out of their yard. Meritage does put full sod all around the house, but they are building this neighborhood up so fast. Obviously, I won't go up to the second floor because there's nothing there. It's dangerous. But so far, so good. I'll probably be ordering the pre-drywall inspection within the next 14 days. Hey, so I have finished up checking on homes for the day. Let's see, I got Brentwood done, Larkhaven done, Ramsey's Glen was done, and I did check up on Stoneybrook Station. So I am going to go ahead and head down to South Charlotte, basically South Carolina, because I have a 4:30 meeting there, which is just to look at lots. New construction is now getting a little bit more competitive. It used to be a little bit easier to get lots, but we basically have this long waiting list, and luckily my clients have been on this particular waiting list since May. It's October, so they've been on this waiting list since May. So I am going to head down there. It's a Lennar neighborhood, the Chateau Enclave. I am building another Lennar home down in Gastonia, so I will check on my southern houses tomorrow. So 2 Gastonias and a Belmont on tomorrow, because today has gotten away from me, and I definitely want to be home in time for dinner and to mentally prep my kiddos for their Kumon testing tomorrow. So I just want to tell them to take it seriously. It's super important, but it's still fun, you know. And I want to be home in time for dinner as well, which I've already prepped, and it's in the refrigerator. All my husband has to do is preheat the oven and stick it in there, and then dinner will be ready on time. So we shall see. But let me go ahead and type this address in and get it going so I can be on time. Okay guys, so I'm here at the chateau and I'm following the on-site agent to the lots that my clients are interested in building. I'm really glad that he's coming along, because he may have a little bit more insight on the easements and things like that I'm really wanting to point out to my clients, especially since these 8 lots that are being released will go so quickly. I want them to feel very, very confident in their decision before they sign anything. To get from Harrisburg Mint Hill, where I was at, all the way down here to the chateau was about 35 minutes. And you guys saw the little bit of traffic that I ran into. That's very, very common. When I used to live down in Valentine, that was before 485 loop. It was a nightmare. And my husband at the time was living up in Mountain Island Lake. And when he was courting me, it took him about an hour to get to me. So just to say, our dates was epic, because, you know, it was like a whole event. We had an activity, a meal, another activity. And I think that's why I married him, because we spent so much time together, and our dates were multi-step, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, so we're pulling up to the lots now, and I'm praying that I have enough battery, and I should, because I do want to show you guys these lots. Okay, so I finally finished my appointment, and it says I'm going to be home at 6:35. I believe my clients are still going to drive around the neighborhood and look at a backup elevation and also some backup colors. We have, you know, the preferred elevation and the preferred colors, but most new constructions, including Lennar, they will not allow you to have the same exterior color or the same elevation. Ooh, speed bump, and I'm speeding. Or the same elevation beside each other. It prevents, you know, the neighborhood from looking very cookie cutter. They definitely want everything to look different. And when you get into higher end, non-starter home type of pricing, they do a lot of that. They make sure that the house does not look cookie cutter. I know that there are some builders out there where they will literally stick two houses that look identical to each other right beside of one another, but not this neighborhood. So I'm super excited for them, and if they go under contract this weekend, they should be done by May. And I say should because when you are building on a slab foundation and you're heading into the winter, our winter time is our wet season, and of course the ground has to be dry-ish for things like the soil tests, you know, placing the footings, pouring the slab. Once the house is framed up and there's a roof on it, then we don't have to worry about weather too much anymore, except for drywall delivery. But and then everything gets back on schedule, except for the issues that we're having with materials being delayed. And she actually mentioned that her sister or sister-in-law are building and their windows are delayed. And for our home, our lumber drop was delayed and our HVAC is delayed, which is fun. So that's the end of my day. I'm going to listen to some podcasts on the way home, may listen to a book a little bit, or just stick to podcasts. But that's what I do in the car. Realtor tip, I know there's some realtors watching. Don't get the Trenton if you're driving sometimes it's hard to find a bathroom. And right now during COVID, it's not like you can just stop